Greetings everyone. If you are new to the channel, well, you are at the right place. You are welcome. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell. So today I'm speaking to somebody who has just bought this new Roland XPS-10X. Basically, I'm taking them through the first steps. I'm taking them through the layout of the keyboard, basic controls, how to create scenes, and how to add scenes to favorites. Okay, concerning the layout of the keyboard, this is a very simple layout. On our left, we have our faders. This is your upper or main tone. This is your dual or lower tone. Well, you can reassign these faders according to your liking. This is your volume. The transpose button is located at the far left with the octave. Also on your right hand side, you have our audio phrase pads, whereby you can play our audio loops. We have our navigation buttons, and instead of using them, you can also use the value dial. Okay, so to switch on the keyboard, we have to press our power button located at the rear or at the back. Okay, so this keyboard will switch off automatically after 20 minutes if we leave it like this without playing it. So what causes this is the setting within the keyboard that has been enabled for power saving purposes. So we have to disable that setting first. So we press our menu button, then we'll see the system edit option. We press enter, then we see common. We enter the common setting, then under common we scroll down using our navigation button. Scroll down, we're looking for auto off. Yes, this is the auto off setting. Then we press enter, then we turn it off. Okay, then after turning it off, if you switch your keyboard off and then turn it on again, there will be no changes saved. So in order to save our changes, we have to press right. System right, are you sure? Yes. Press enter. Now writing. Yes. So now the next time you switch on your keyboard, this setting will be disabled. So getting into detail with our basic controls, starting off on our right hand side of the keyboard. On our far right hand side, there are 4 buttons. There's the mute button, audio button, rhythm button, and sequencer button. So the rhythm button is for the drum rhythms built in within the keyboard. So pressing it lights it up in red. Then the drum list will appear on the screen. You have to choose whichever one you desire. Then to adjust its tempo, you have to tap according to your favorite BPM or desired BPM or tempo. Then you are ready to play. Then concerning the audio loops within your USB, in order to play them, you have to press audio till it lights in red. Then they will appear on the screen. Then you have to choose whichever beat you desire. Then you can so you must have noticed the drum or the beat cut off itself without me turning it off, meaning the loop switch is turned off. So to turn on the loop switch, you have to hold shift and then press audio once. Then the audio pad edit screen will appear. Page to number 2. So number 2 represents pad number 1. As you can see, the loop switch is turned off, so we have to turn it on. Then page to number 3, which represents pad number 2. The loop switch is turned off again. Turn it on. Turn all the pads loop switch on till you reach number 9. Then after you've turned them on, you shouldn't face any trouble anymore. So coming to the mute button, whenever you press the mute button, the phrase pad changes. So you must have noticed they were all lit up, so only one is lit up now, meaning this one represents the tone that is being displayed on the scene or on the screen. If my scene has two tones, two pads will light up. If I have 3 tones, then 3 pads will light up. So for now I only have one tone, which is my slow pop strings. Then again, to enable the number 2 tone, you have to press number 2. Then my solo flute has been enabled. Then let's press number 3. Let's press number 4 for our tabular pair. Let's press number 5, which is our choir. Let us switch off number 1, which are my strings. Let me switch also number 3 off, which is my church organ. Let me switch number 2 off. So now you will realize that I only have two tones playing. It's number 5 and number 4. Number 5 represents the choir, number 4 represents tubular bell. So to adjust the volume of these tones, there is a quick shortcut. You have to hold shift, then press sequencer. Then the faders represent the pads. So if you want to adjust the volume for tone number or for pad number 4, you have to go to number 4, scroll to number 4. These are my tubular bell. The volume is at 78. Let me increase the volume. Let me decrease the volume. Let me increase it again. Put it at 65. So that's how the mute button and the sequencer buttons work. So in front of me I have a scene. It's named xps10x 2. It's named xps10x 2. I got it from the Roland website. So a scene is a situation whereby you have 2 or multiple tones layered together or grouped together. So I want to save this scene under my favorite bank, so that it will be easier for me whenever I play live next time. So to save your scene under the favorite bank, you have to press the favorite button. After pressing the favorite button, you will notice that all the buttons number 1 to number 10 under the favorite bank, they are all lighting up in red, meaning in my situation I do have some scenes saved. So my favorite bank is occupied, so there is no more space left. So there's no more space left for me to save the xps10x 2 scene. So what do I do in a situation like this? Remember, this is bank number 1. This is favorite bank number 1. So I have to go to favorite bank number 2. So I have to hold shift, then press number 2. See, favorite bank number 2. So this is favorite bank number 2. Hence you are seeing it's lighting up in red up to number 6, meaning the spaces left are number 7, 8, 9 and 10. So I still can save this scene under number 7 because it's an empty space. So to save my scene, I have to hold favorite. Then I have to press number 7. It's now registered under number 7. Meaning whenever I'm playing live, maybe let's say I'm using number 1. This is favorite bank number 2, remember. I'm using the strings. This is another scene. Then I want to quickly move to the xps scene I just registered. It's a tap away from me. I have to tap number 7. So it's easier like that. My scene is now saved under number 7. This is favorite bank number 2. If favorite bank number 2 gets full, I can also go to favorite bank number 3. Remember, hold switch, hold shift, then press number 3. Favorite bank number 3 is empty. To go back to favorite bank number 1, hold shift, press 1. So focusing on the left hand side of the keyboard, we do have our faders, whereby you adjust your upper volume, which is your main tone, and your lower volume, which is your lower tone. Then also the pad volume, which represents your audio beats or your drum rhythm. Also the reverb. And again, I repeat, you can reassign these faders according to your liking. So we do also have our split button on the left hand side of the keyboard. Your split button, we all know that you'll be playing a different tone on the right hand side. Then on the left side, you'll be, let's say you press the split button, you'll be playing something, your bass, your portamento bass, or whichever tone, or maybe your bass guitar, whichever tone you desire. So to set the split point, you have to press your hold split, and press the specific point or key you desire. Like, let's say I wanted to reach C3. I pressed C3. So my split tone will play up to C3. Then upwards will be my upper tone. But if I want to extend it to C4, to note C4, I'll hold split, then press C4. We do also have the transpose button on our far left. So to transpose, you have to hold transpose, press the positive button to transpose up, or if you are not transpose downwards, hold transpose, press the negative transpose button. So whichever way you want to go, make sure that you are holding the transpose button. You hold the transpose button, you press plus. You hold the transpose button, then you press minus or negative. Then in between the transpose and the arpeggio buttons are the octave buttons. So to change the octave, you can just press up or press down. Then to play your drums or your live drums, you have to hold shift and then press single. Then you've engaged the drum mode. So concerning the arpeggio function, to enable the arpeggio function, you have to select a specific scene. So after selecting the specific scene, you have to adjust your tempo to the tempo should match your beat. Meaning if you are going to be using another beat, maybe on your FL Studio, if it's at 92, the tempo, make sure the tempo on your keyboard is at 92 also. Because the arpeggio function, it depends on the tempo information. meaning if it's too fast or too slow, it won't match up with the beat. So in order for it to match up with whatever you'll be playing at the time, your tempo should be adjusted properly. So my tempo right now is at 92. So whilst my tempo is at 92, what I have to do is select the tone, meaning on my scene I have 4 tones. On this scene I have 4 tones. I'll do a more in-depth scene based video, but on this one I'll go to part 3 or pad 3. Pad 3 is my sign. This is how it sounds. This is my sign. So I have to go press menu, then go to scene edit, then scroll down to arpeggio. After arpeggio, you will see page 1 has these options. So I'll switch on the let's switch on the arpeggio. Okay, it's switched on now. The whole switch is switched off. Then scroll to the next page. Just double check there if it's the part you intend to edit. For me it's part 3, which is the sine tone. Yes, it is the sine tone. Okay, let me check if the other parts have been enabled. The arpeggio has been enabled on them. Yes, the arpeggio has been enabled on all parts of my scene, so I do not want that to happen. I want it only on pad 3. So let's go to if I press number 2, you'll double check that it changes to part 2. So I can switch it off. Then I can press pad 1 or part 1. I can also switch it off. Then let's go back to pad 3. This is where I actually want my arpeggio to be enabled. Let me switch it on. Okay, after let us double check if on the other parts it has been switched off. Yes, it has been switched off. Let's double check if on part 3 is it enabled or disabled. Yeah, it has been enabled. So you have to just exit, then press your beat. So that's how you enable your arpeggio effect.